remember those Toby Maguire Spider-Man films? We all watched them, we all liked them in one for one another. They were really good and interesting. I would be the first to admit that I did not like the whole webs coming out from him thing. I never could understand how that worked. I mean, I always think Spider-Man should have his web shooters. That's kind of par for the course when it comes to Spider-Man. Not having his web shooters is a bad thing, because if he runs out of web fluid, he has to change cartridges or, think on the go, on the fly and get things done. So I was skeptical about that. Now, I watched the Spider-Man movies, and then I find the last one was not as good as the first two. The third movie, nah. Venom was a... God, I mean, it wasn't to my fancy at all. To be honest with you, it was not to my fancy at all. But it is what it is. It happened. Movies were there, not a problem. So, of course, we have to have some more nonsense involved with it, because apparently Kirsten Dunst, who played Mary Jane in these films, is out there talking about the pay gap between her and Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man films and how it was so unfair and all of this. Apparently, nobody told Kirsten Dunst the straightforward truth. But let's get into this. Here, this article from Bounding Into Comics. Kirsten Dunst whines about very extreme pay gap between her and Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man films. In a recent interview, Dunst once again complained about the pay disparity she experienced while working on the Spider-Man films in the early 2000s. Something she's done for years, with the sympathetic access media applauding her each time. Oh God, yeah. She compared her compensation to that of her co-star Tobey Maguire, who played the titular superhero. According to Kirsten Dunst, the pay gap was very extreme. The actress who portrayed the iconic character of Mary Jane Watson pointed out that despite her significant role in the franchise, she was not compensated as handsomely as Tobey Maguire. Okay, let me say something here, Kirsten. I want you to listen to me very carefully. Very, very carefully. If you're seeing or hearing this video at all, I want you to listen to me very carefully. The movies were called Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire played Spider-Man. You understand me? Spider-Man. The movie was not called Mary Jane. It was not called Mary Jane. The movie was called Spider-Man. And you're whining about some pay gap. Of course there's a pay gap, because he was playing Spider-Man. That's it. He was the star. Clearly they're going to pay him more. I mean, what? You think the guy who played Sandman in the last Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire got paid more than him? Come on now, man. Oh, God. Common freaking sense. Of course you're not going to make as much as the man who played Spider-Man. This has nothing to do with any kind of gender, anything. The movie is called Spider-Man. If the movie was called Mary Jane, and you were doing whatever the hell you had to do in it, and he just made like one or two little appearances here and there, clearly you would make more money. It's your movie. But bottom line, and this is what you need to remember. Nobody's gonna go and watch a Mary Jane movie without Spider-Man in it. Simple as that. And God forbid they decide to make some jackpot movie. I hope I ain't giving them ideas here, but if they decide to make that, well, they ain't gonna pray at that point. The movie is called Spider-Man. I don't know what the hell you're whining about. You ain't get paid as much as him. Of course you didn't get paid as much as him. He is the star. It's called Spider-Man. He was playing Spider-Man. Common shitting sense. Oh God. I tell you what. The controversy surrounding the pay gap between Kirsten Dunst and Tobey Maguire has prompted various reactions from the public and the entertainment industry. Here comes the woke shitstorm again, because all these people ever need is just some kind of little flicker or something, a little scratch of a match, and bam, they don't ready to start to burn everything down. Some have criticized the pay disparity, arguing that it reflects the broader issue of gender inequality in Hollywood. And nothing to do with gender inequality in Hollywood. The movie is called Spider-Man. He was playing Spider-Man. Of course, he made more money. So I don't understand. What exactly was she expecting? She was going to be paid the same salary as him, even though he is the star. He is the one swinging around on webs. I mean, let's be honest here. Let's be honest here for a second. Absolutely honest here for a second. People went to the movie to watch Spider-Man. Yes, Mary Jane is there. Yes, they like you. Yes, you are an important part of Spider-Man's life, despite what the shit they're doing to him in comics now. But you are an important part of it. Okay, people went to see that. No problem. But again, as I say, let's be honest. If it was just a Mary Jane movie, no Spider-Man in it whatsoever, nobody would show up. As harsh as that may be to you, nobody would show up. That is the God's honest truth. Nobody would show up. Nobody. There's no gender inequality involved in this. He is the star. The movie is called Spider-Man. Clearly, he's going to get paid more than you. God. Most, however, pointed out that at the time of the Spider-Man film's release, there was a more significant emphasis on the lead character, which is a common practice in the industry. Of course, it's a common practice in the industry. If he's the lead character and the star, people are showing up to see a Spider-Man movie because they're showing up to see a Spider-Man movie. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. I mean, to take, for instance, you have a Superman movie or a Batman movie. You really think the guy on the street corner who made us look up and see Superman or Batman is going to be paid as much as the stars? Of course not. Nobody's going to show up to watch a movie about Alfred. In the Alfred TV series, that was a waste of looking time, because people want to see who they're looking for. They're looking at the main characters. That's who Spider-Man is. But no, she wanted as much money as him because... Oh, God, boy. In an interview with The Independent, Kirsten Dunst complained about the pay gap, saying, though she shrugged it off at the time because Maguire was playing Spider-Man, you know how to shrug it off. That's the reason. Of course, he's playing Spider-Man. They're going to pay him more. That's just common sense. That's all. She points to the fact that she was on the cover of the Spider-Man 2 poster right alongside him. This statement highlights the discrepancy between the two actors' roles and the compensation they received for their work. Okay, so she's saying that she was on the poster right alongside him. Okay, you look at a Star Wars poster, for instance. Right? Look at a Star Wars poster. There are the stars on the posters and everything. They're okay. There are also pictures of some stormtroopers. Are the stormtroopers going to get paid as much as Luke Skywalker or Leia or Han Solo? Of course not. Of course not. Yes, the stormtroopers were in the movie practically most of the time they were there. All right. But they're not going to get paid as much as Han Solo or Luke Skywalker or Leia or hell, even freaking Chewbacca. Of course not. Because they are the star. Just because you're on the poster does not automatically mean you're supposed to be paid as much as him. Come on. Come on. That's ridiculous. This whole thing just sounds absolutely ridiculous. In a recent interview with Variety, Kirsten Dunst further cried about the pay disparity between her and Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man film. She said, "It was different, a lot different, and I was in Bring It On and had a track record." This statement highlights the disparity in compensation between the two actors and suggests that despite her experience and success, Kirsten Dunst was not paid as well as her male co-star. Well, okay, if she has an agency, if she has an agent who negotiates her fee for her for these movies, then that person should have negotiated a higher salary for her. Okay, but then maybe no, I don't know how much she was paid and how much Tobey Maguire was paid. I don't know that. I don't know that. But if she wanted more money, you could have made some kind of, bid for that. But it was never going to be the same amount as Tobey Maguire. Now, if you say that, there is a significant pay gap between the two of you, then that's probably due to you and your agent not negotiating a better deal for you. Honestly, that's probably between you, because if in the first movie you were paid, let's say you were paid, I don't know, let's say you were paid $3 million for the first movie. Let's put out a number here, $3 million for the first movie. And let's say Tobey Maguire was paid $6 million. By the second movie, when the popularity is there now, and they say, well, okay, we're going to pay Tobey Maguire $8 million. You who got $3 million before should have your agent try to negotiate for maybe $5 or $6 million, because you are an important part of the series, and you could try and negotiate for that. You may not get the $6 million, you may get $5 million something. I mean, it's possible, because a lot of people went to watch those movies, so you could negotiate for something. But I'm sure you got some money. I don't know how much, but the fact that you're sitting here and whining and saying that there was some major pay gap and all kind of thing, just kind of makes it feel like you're just trying to be relevant over nonsense. That's all. You're just trying to be relevant over nonsense. Despite the controversy, most argue that the pay gap between Kirsten Dunst and Tobey Maguire can be attributed to the nature of their roles in the films. Well, yeah, simple as that. As the lead character, Toby Maguire Spider-Man was the central focus of the franchise, which likely played a significant role in determining the actors' respective salaries. Of course. How much money do you think the actors who played the Avengers made? A lot of money, because they were the focus point of the movie. They made a lot of freaking money. In conclusion, the Spider-Man pay gap controversy is ridiculous, yes, and Kirsten Dunst's complaints are one of entitlement. It's clear the pay disparity between Kirsten Dunst and Tobey Maguire can be attributed to the nature of their roles in the films, and Hollywood starlets are never happy. Well, no, I'm just saying, bottom line here, people, you were never going to make as much money as him. That's just a fact. You were not the central focus of the movie. He was Spider-Man. That's who people came to see. Clearly, he made more money. I don't know how much you made, but if you wanted to negotiate for a higher salary by the second movie, whatever, or the third, you should have done that. That was it. You should have done that and get it done. But you were never going to make as much money as the star. Stop whining about some kind of entitlement nonsense. Because it's not making any sense, and it just makes you look desperate. And by desperate, I mean desperate for some kind of making, recognition or some kind of thing or whatever. But it's not working at all. Your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.